There she is. Hey. Come on in here. Have a seat. Yeah, we're right there. We're on. How are you? Good? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you got some headphones. You want headphones or no?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do I need them?
I'm playing this cool song. I want you to hear the song I wrote. You like that?
You wrote it?
No, I didn't write it.
Like, I don't remember you there.
I wasn't. Are you good?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you bring with you there?
This is a signed copy of the Champion lyrics for some money raising purposes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I can take that and we can use that.
Yes.
To raise money. Okay.
Yeah. No, I just bring it everywhere I go,
Listen, at this
and then I
point-
leave with it.
That will be funny. Go everywhere with
Yes.
a signed.
I got this thing for you, and then I just walk out.
No, don't even say you have it for someone. Just
Oh,
walk in
just
and out with it.
Walk in and
You're like,
out.
what are those? These are handwritten lyrics to Cry Pretty. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I carry them with me all over.
Yeah, and then just take them with me.
Today, I'm looking at a piece of paper here. Today's a big day. I have all your songs up. Can I tell you what song that when I listened to the record, that was like, oh, like that's my jam. Are you nervous about that?
I don't know. Everyone's different. I've heard so many different answers, different
this is mine.
responses.
This one's mine. Low.
Ever since, baby, you've been gone, I'm so low.
You like this one?
I do.
Yeah.
Very much.
You wrote this, huh?
Did.
What's it? Tell me about this song.
Well, Hillary Lindsay and David Garcia are the people that I was lucky enough to write with that day. And Hillary kind of came in with the idea to going from low to lonesome, and we just went with it. And I was like, I love how like twangy country it started out, and then we just threw the kitchen sink at it because I'm like, more guitars, and just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Let me hear this. How many of those do you do? How many runs will you do before you pick the perfect run?
I don't know, because they're always different, and I never actually know what's going to come out of my mouth, which is scary, and sometimes it's really bad because I like to plan things, but it's kind of cool when you're recording just to fly by the seat of your pants and see what happens.
So with a song like that where you're doing, or a lot of your songs where you really show your vocal, will you do many different runs and then pick one?
Yeah, and that was super interesting too, kind of being on the other side of the producing, whatever, being behind the board and listening to yourself and what you think might have sounded really great when you're in front of the microphone, being like, well, that doesn't work at all, and kind of going back to the drawing board and figuring out which ones you're going to use and there's certain ones that don't work together, but they were great on their own, and yeah.
You ever save them? Just listen to them at home, all your runs?
No.
That'd be a cool.
No.
That'd be a cool. Right? All the runs.
Just like cut
15
them all
tracks.
together.
Do you ever keep your albums out just on the coffee table?
I don't. We have stacks of them like upstairs because people always need things for like, benefits and stuff like that. Or there'll be some kid that shows up and they're like, can I have a CD and whatever. So we'll sign them and
Unfair question, by
Why?
the way.
Hand 'em-
Because
hand 'em out.
coffee tables are meant for books.
yeah, they're not meant for CDs.
Yeah.
They'll get broken at
Okay,
my
but
house.
what's your opinion?
Books, even leaving books out is like risky because my kid will just like rip the cover off and I'm like, I don't know what this book is anymore. Like, do I want to read it? I don't know. Half of it's gone.
People also just show up to your door and say, "Give me a CD."
Well, no. Usually it's parents.
Trick or treat.
Wait, parents do?
Usually some parent somewhere will be like, well, my kid would sure love an autographed CD. And you're like, okay.
So
But
you
then you feel kind of stupid having them. I've got a giant stack upstairs. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
I can see that.
do you have like a trophy cave?
It's not a cave.
Oh, it's
I
a
have,
warehouse?
Well, no. Gosh, no.
No.
That's not what I was implying. I have like a room. Right now it's a junk room because we've been in the process of moving for a long time. We're waiting to move. So I'm trying to like pack stuff up and it's kind of a mess, but it's like a piano room. I bought myself a piano a few years ago as a treat because I was like, I deserve a nice piano.
You do.
Doesn't get played.
You do
but
deserve that. Carrie Underwood is here. New record's out today called Cry Pretty. You know what? One that I want to ask you about is this song called The Bullet. I'm going to play some of this here.
Left a hole in her heart and it still ain't done. The bullet keeps on going.
Will you tell me about this song? 'Cause I don't know that I'm assigning definitions to it, so I think it would be better to ask you.
Yeah. Well, it starts out, there's a mom at a funeral, and it talks about all the people that are left dealing with somebody who's taken from gun violence. And we don't know who it was or why it was, or if it was, in my head, I was like, the thing about this is it could be a military member, it could be a cop, it could be a stray bullet, somebody got hit, whatever. And it's just about all the people that are left to deal with that. And it's the people you don't really think of when you hear a story like this on the news. You think, oh, that's so sad that somebody lost their life. But then you don't really think of all the things that like could have been, and their families and their kids, and just all the people that are left to pick up the pieces.
Here's some of the Bullet.
Left a hole in her heart and it still ain't done. The bullet keeps on going.
How long does it take to actually, from the minute you guys said, hey, we're going to work on a new record, to today? Like, how long ago? Because, I mean, it had to seem to you like forever because you've been in it the whole time.
Well, I feel like we kind of started collecting songs as soon as I got off the road. If there was something.
Which was when?
I ended tour 2016, ended 2016.
Wow.
So, like, after the holidays and stuff like that, it's like, okay, I wasn't fully in it yet, but if something great comes across your plate, you want to hold it and make sure nobody else gets it. So that was one of those. And then, like, Ghost on the Stereo, I think, was the first song that we'd held. And to hold on to something for that long really isn't common. Usually you get tired of it by the time your album is being ready to be recorded. But that one lasted for a long time.
This is Ghost on the Stereo.
Records are spinning and the speakers are smoking. There ain't no last call. I'm having a ball with Hank, Haggard, and Jones. Oh, I ain't alone. I feel right at home with my Ghost on the Stereo.
It's a cool concept,
I
huh?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. It's like kind of about somebody having a little bit of a meltdown at home by themselves, but it's not in a sad way. Like, this person's at home, like, drinking by themselves, listening to old records because of a breakup, but it's more of like I don't know. I feel like that's their night, that they're just going to kind of feel it, and then the next day they're moving on. And I kind of like that. I like that thought. It's still strong. It's like, it's a breakup song, but it's done in a way that's still very strong.
Carrie Underwood is here. New album's out today. I was looking at your Instagram, and the picture of you before you go on stage, and you have your son, and it's right before you go on. And I was thinking, man, I bet your on-stage ritual right before you walk on has changed, where you would spend a lot of time going, okay, got to get ready for the show. But now you're probably doing that, but also being a mom.
Well, that's because I know he's not going to make it through the show because he's, 3 and it'll be bedtime. And that was, usually he doesn't get to see me do anything. I think he only made it through about 4 or 5 songs that night. But that was like, I have to say nights to him before I go on stage. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot has changed. And it's so weird. Like, I'll be at work doing something. Yesterday I was like filming something, and right after it was over, it's like I got home, and like I had groceries delivered, and I had to like put the groceries away and then make dinner. And this was all before I got to like wash my camera makeup off, So it was, I don't know, life is weird. And he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't know me as anything else. But he was so excited to see me on stage. Like, a week later, he didn't really say anything about it afterwards, but a week later we were like sitting watching something on TV, and the person or the cartoon was like on stage, and he was like, Mom, you did so good when you were on stage this last weekend, because everything's this last weekend. He has no concept of time. This last weekend when you were on stage, you did such a good job. And he was so excited. I was like, oh, like it's like he just remembered. I forgot to tell her. She did great this week.
But it had been since last weekend.
This last
He's
weekend.
been holding on to that for a long time.
Everything.
There was
this last
also
weekend.
the picture of the potato that I'm just thinking back, where he had a potato he played with
he
for
did.
a while.
He carried it around, and eventually I had to he had 4 of them, that he would like carry around everywhere, and I had to like one by one like throw them in the trash.
Oh, I thought you were
Because
like
they
eventually.
were getting
I had to
funky.
cook
They
them.
were getting like no, we were
didn't eat
past
them?
cooking,
Okay.
and then one got a boo boo. We had to put a Band-Aid on it, and it was just like a thing. And but after I did that, the Mr. Potato Head company like sent me some proper potatoes to play with. So I was like, well, that was nice of them. Of course, now I have Mr. Potato Head parts all over my house that aren't with the potato. So that's fun to step on.
Does that happen a lot where you will mention something that is a non-sponsored thing and then that sponsored person says, oh, let me send you a lot?
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like, what do I need? No, I got I said something about, it was a post that Mike made about an unfortunate hairstyle that I had once upon a time, and I commented and I was like, well, if you marry a girl from the South, you get a lifetime subscription to Elnet, which is hairspray. And they sent me like a giant case of hairspray. I gave some to my mom. I was like, there's no way I could ever use all of this hairspray. It was awesome. I got some backup hairsprays. I got one in every bathroom. So yeah, it's that part's pretty cool.
Carrie Underwood's here with us. Hey, so whenever, again, just kind of going through a mental guide of all the pictures. 'Cause I feel like I'm able to keep up with you because I just see Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
There was a picture, I think you were at a wedding, and it was you and Mike. And I wonder if I have Carrie and Mike at my wedding, are they upstaging me? Is that a thing?
Good question.
Yeah, because
To be honest, most of the people at the wedding we knew very well. Like, it gets a little tricky if we like don't know them. I mean, obviously, if they invite us to their wedding, we know them pretty well. But like, Mike's known them forever, and all the people in this town known forever. So I feel like they'd still treat us normally. So I don't.
secretly they're like,
I don't think so.
No?
Not these particular people. They were really cool about it. We were kind of in like a more public place, and even though people weren't coming into the wedding, there was still like a gaggle of people like videotaping, and like Mike was in the wedding, so he was like giving speeches and stuff, and they had their phones out from afar, and it was like, you want to hear his best man speech to somebody else? Like, I don't know. Remember that forever.
Yeah.
you broed me once, right? Didn't she bro me on Instagram?
Yeah, she said something
I
like, comma, bro.
did, but I was like,
We didn't know if it was a loving bro
it
or
was
if
a
it was
loving bro.
Okay, because there are two ways to bro.
But if you brah, then I feel like that's not loving. If you
B-R-A-H.
bro, yeah.
Okay, because it was a gym picture and you wrote something bro. And
I was like, don't let it mess up your flow, bro. Something like that, like your gym
oh, we
flow.
we debated
No.
if it was a good bro.
Or like a bra.
I won't. I will never. I rarely comment on anybody's pictures anyway. Like, I'll like stuff. I'm trying to get better at commenting because I want people to know I care. Not that they're looking. Probably that they care that I care. But no, I would never put anything.
But you could have though. I would have felt comfortable with you making fun of me. That's all we were
no.
wondering. Because you're funny.
Because I understand when, like, if I forget my gloves in the gym, my day is ruined. My day's ruined. It's over.
The line, how do you say it? Kalia?
Kalia.
Kalia?
Kalia. Yeah.
So are you part of that? Are you the part owner of that thing?
I am. I mean, I don't. Not like owner.
But you're part of it.
I own Dick's Sporting Goods. I wish I did.
It's a Dick's brand, right?
Yeah. Oh, it
You're
is?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
Well, I
clap
can never
with
wear
your
it, so I don't
face.
ever investigate any further.
Right.
It's never like, hey, bros,
Oh.
try this.
Yeah, I know. Mike he's been like, we should do something for guys. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, but there's lots of guys stuff out there. I feel like the girls stuff was a little harder, like once upon a time. It's better now because we're there.
My husband asks me sometimes if I have any. There's one of your sports bras that I have, and it's my favorite, and I wear it like all the time. To where my husband even noticed, like, do you have any other sports bras?
Like
I'm
one of
like,
hers
"This
specifically,
is-
or like the brand?
I gave it to
It's
her.
it's one I stole from Gary.
It's what we do.
No.
We share,
It's a
share bras.
Kalia.
Yeah,
How do you say it again?
Kalia.
I'm
yeah.
the same way. A lot of people ask you how to say that.
Well, Mike says it improperly. I feel like he does it on purpose, though. So
Yeah.
I'll correct him or something.
So
he knows
anyway,
it bugs me.
I say my Carrie Underwood Dick's Sporting's good. It's Dick's bra.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You have trouble with it. I want to play another song. Carrie's record is out today. It's called Cry Pretty. Here's a song called Spinning Bottles.
She's all cried out on the kitchen floor, spinning rooms, spinning wheels, spinning out of control, spinning bottles.
good, huh?
He's in a hotel.
You like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad song.
That's
but
good.
yeah.
That's like real life.
Yeah.
Static with the curtains drawn, knowing this could be the time.
Do you ever cry when you sing? You ever get emotional?
Yes, yeah. There was one song I did a while back ago that I was like, I don't think I can ever, or I know I can't ever sing this live. Like I could sing it in chunks recording it, and I could never get through it.
That recording process is pretty grueling.
It depends. On that particular song, we wrote the song to a track that was actually like it moved faster and it had like a beat and stuff like that to it. And when I got up to sing it, it didn't work. And I was like, why is this wrong? All of this is wrong. And everybody else agreed. So we took that away, and David just started playing keys and was like, let's just see what happens when there's like no music. And I think it was just because we didn't know what was going to happen and we weren't overthinking it. And, we had just written the song and everybody had gone there in terms of like thinking about people that we assign to the song, people that we're writing about. And so it was just a really emotional moment. And when we tried to recreate that in like real studio setting, it's like time to sing the vocals and time to re-record the keys and stuff like that. It didn't work. So like 90% of that vocal is the day we wrote it, like not thinking about it. It's not perfect. Like if you try to like think about it from like a click track perspective, there was no click track. So there's like some ebb and flow, which I hope doesn't drive people crazy because everybody's used to hearing everything like perfectly on tempo. But we left a lot of it alone because there was just something about that day that was right.
Carrie's new record is out today. It's Cry Pretty. You probably know this song right here. Also, the Cry Pretty Tour 360. What's 360 about it? Like, why 360?
It's in the round.
Are you being for real?
Yeah, we're
It's-
in
so
the
it's like
we're in
a-
the middle. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. So there's 360 degrees of
So
awesome.
you're in the middle. Does
hopefully.
it spin?
I probably will. Probably parts of it will.
Have you ever done that? Have you
But
ever
like
done a-
really slowly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we like to have a lot of. I like to put on a show. I like there to be lots of things happening, and I love it when people will come to a show and have like seats on the floor or whatever, or seats like way up high the next time, and they're like, it's a different show. Like you can come back and you can see things you didn't notice because there's stuff happening on the screens. The stage is doing things. Like our band, the last tour, I felt like really just stepped it up because they stepped out. They weren't like a band behind me. We're in the round. They can connect with people too, which I feel like gave them so much more energy. And that's what I want. Like, I just want to see people. When you're at one end of the arena and you can basically only see the 10 rows in front of you, like you see other people, but you don't see their faces. You don't see their eyes. You don't see what they're doing. I want to see people.
And on the tour, you have Maddie and Tay and Runaway June. That's right,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, a lot of girl power there. I'm assuming that was
Yes.
part of the idea, right?
I mean, initially when we started thinking about who we wanted to take out with us, it was a long list. And then as we started, going through things, it became shorter and shorter. And that's kind of what we were left with was like these strong female options. So it's like, let's do it, And I feel like a lot of, I don't know, generally when you go on tour, you want somebody that like works with you, but is not like you on stage. And it was like, why? Like, let's embrace this. And I wanted to put on a good show. I wanted talented people that I respected on stage. Just so happens they're women.
Love it. Well. Let me ask you this: your 14-year-old self. What advice would you give your 14-year-old self right now?
Stop plucking your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's solid.
Why?
advice.
I don't pluck anything, so I don't understand what happens from a pluck.
If you keep on, because back in the, I'm old. Back in the 90s, the super thin eyebrows were the thing, and mine were kind of crazy. and the more you pluck them, the less they grow
Yeah.
back ever.
You
Oh,
can
the
overpluck.
less they grow back.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
It doesn't double up. I
For
always
our-
thought,
Oh, you can like.
Wait, when
ruin
were you
your-
born? When you say
83.
Okay, so I was 81. So we're pretty close. And I would say, yes, a lot of my girlfriends, this is a main issue. Even up to my sister, who's 41 now, we're all part of a generation that overplucked. And now that we're, it's a real thing.
it
And now that
is.
we're like aging women,
Now you gotta
they're
draw
old.
them.
But it's a whole thing.
Back on.
Yeah, I got my microbladed, but
Yeah.
yeah.
what's
I
do
did
you have,
too.
what's that? What's microblading?
It's like tattoos.
They like scrape it's like a blade that scrapes your skin
Right.
open, and
It's
then
not
they.
like buzz tattoo.
it's not
like,
a tattoo, but then they dye it,
Yeah.
and then it's
Well, that sounds
permanently
healthy.
on.
Yeah. Sounds,
Well, listen, if
good.
we're part of the people that overplucked, like no shame in my game. Like now I'm like,
I'm with you.
Once I got a microbladed, I was like, okay, this is amazing. All the
Yeah.
world needs to know.
Because you don't have to like.
Pencil them in all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Someday though, I'm gonna be like one of my crazy aunts growing up and just shave them off and draw them on purple. I feel like that's gonna be my game when I'm old.
I think but by that point, our eyesight is fading.
Yeah, I
We
won't care
really don't
anymore.
know. Like we think we look great, but
Yeah.
really, it's like, oh.
you watch anything good on Netflix at all?
No, I honestly haven't watched much on TV lately. I'm ashamed to say that my husband and I. Have you seen The Proposal?
Is that a movie?
No, I mean it is.
Has
but
anyone
the
seen it
show.
here?
It's the TV show.
You got so
Oh,
excited.
Lunchbox
You
loves
got
it.
so excited.
It's the one with Jesse Palmer. It's where the
Oh, the Bachelor kind
Yeah,
of thing.
it's
But
where-
no, it's The Bachelor in an hour.
it's so great. So there's one person in a
love how
booth, a
excited
hidden
you got.
booth. It's a guy or a girl, and then they have like 15 or 20 suitors come out, and they just start eliminating people. And at the end, there's two people, and they both propose to her.
But they tell him how much they like love him.
yeah, or
Wait, from 1
And
hour?
they've never
From 1
met
hour.
him. They've never seen him. Usually it's a guy behind the.
yeah, like there was a firefighter was the first episode, and he was from California, and he's still with his chick that he met
for
on
him.
the show.
Yeah, good for
It's
him.
so good. It's love. They got it inspired by The Bachelor, and they find love on The Bachelor, and now in The Proposal. You guys got to believe in these reality shows.
All right. Thank you, Lunchbox.
Yeah. yeah.
excited.
I'm just glad that Carrie Underwood likes the same TV I do. I don't feel as bad watching it now.
Well, no, and we sit there and we talk about how terrible we are watching it. We're like, this is shameful. Turn it up. Are you recording this? Okay.
Well, let me encourage everyone to download, stream, buy Carrie's record out today. Cry Pretty. And then the tour starts next spring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cry Pretty 360 tour.
May Day. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank
It's always good
you.
to see you.
Thank you. You too.
And if you do ever make that full album of just runs, let me know. We'll all premiere it here. The whole thing.
Okay.
The whole
I
listening
want
party.
you though at some point to listen to this album and think about the bass line. I saw something you tweeted
I don't ever
recently.
hear bass lines.
You should hear it in this album.
I
Jimmy
think
Lee
I'm,
Sloas played bass on these songs, and I had never been in like a overdub session with him. Usually I'm at the tracking session that day, and I'm like, everybody sounds great, but to watch him work and to just hear the difference between him and he's good.
well, my point isn't that I don't respect a bass player, because even in
No,
my
I
band,
know,
have a
you just-
great, I just don't hear it. I'm missing something. I'm colorblind too severely, and that would be like me going, "Hey, confession, I don't see dark blue.
Yeah.
I don't hear the bass line a lot of
I
times."
can't hear super high pitched frequencies, so I understand sort of, but there's no music that's super high pitched.
No, I got something you need to hear. Then we'll trade. You give me the disc of bass lines, I'll hit you with the high frequencies.
Okay.
It's just me screaming.
Oh.
Yeah,
ooh.
it's my runs. Yeah, I'll give
Okay.
you a disc of my runs. All right, Carrie Underwood's here. Good to see you.
You
and
too.
we'll see
Thank
you
you,
soon.
guys.
And we'll see you at the CMAs.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
There you go. Until next time, till we meet again.
It's about